Teague here, Landslide. Let's jump right in. It's capo is on the 3rd fret. However, for the purpose of this, let's get rid of the capo, and then we can learn it that way for anyone that doesn't have a capo, and then we can talk about the capo later. But we're going to start with the C chord. I'm going to move this a little bit closer so we can see up close what's happening. C chord, you probably already know your C chord, but first finger's on the 1st fret of your 2nd string, 2nd finger's on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, and your 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret of your 5th string. C chord, Travis picking. So essentially what's going to happen here is our index finger is going to sit and play this 3rd string for the whole intro and verse, and our middle finger will play the 2nd string. The thumb is going to go from 5 to 4. And index, or Travis picking, is going to go thumb, index, so we're going to go 5th string to the 3rd string. Thumb is then going to go to the 4th string, then middle on that 2nd string. That's it. So thumb, index, thumb, middle. So thumb, 5th string, index 3rd string, thumb the 4th string, middle the 2nd string. So we're basically just going thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. In strings 5, 3, 4, 2. 5, 3, 4, 2. Pretty easy. So there's 16th notes. So basically we're going to play 4 of these notes in one beat. So the pattern, that'll be beat 1. Beat 2 is almost the same, but a little tiny bit different. We're going to go, it'll start the exact same. Thumb, index, so string 5 to 3. Then thumb again on 4. So far it's the same. The only difference is we're not going to play the middle finger on 2, and that 4th string is just going to ring. So we said they were 16th notes, but that last note is an 8th note. So beat 2 is just going to go, you can think of it as short, short, long. So short, 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 long. The nice thing about that little 8th note, which gives us that little pause, is it gives us a little bit of chance to change our chords. So the chords are going to go from this C chord to, basically it's like a G chord, but we would refer to this as a G/B because B is in the bass. But you probably know that G chord. Sometimes people like to play the G chord like that with the 2 fingers there. Basically we're just keeping these 2. So you have your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string for a B, your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string for a D. Now, I was playing with fingers 2 and 4, which you can do, or you can do 1 and 3. There'll be kind of advantages and disadvantages to both, or pros and cons, and we'll look at those right now. But the pattern, I'll just use 1 and 3 here for a moment. The pattern in the right hand is exactly the same. Exactly. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, that's beat 1. So strings 5, 3, 4, 2, exactly the same, and then the 2/8 or the 2/16 with an 8th. So that little pause. So easy. So here's the look at the difference between the C chord to the G/B. If I go 2 and 4, my 2nd finger just moves up from the 4th string to the 5th string, and my pinky comes into the 3rd fret of that 2nd string. So I have this. Now, for some people not comfortable with using the pinky, they may find that a little bit tricky, in which case you would go 1 and 3. Now, when you do that, your 3rd finger is actually staying on the same fret, but it's going to go from the 5th string to the 2nd string, and your 1st finger will come up to get that B, 2nd fret of your 5th string. So it's up to you. Ideally, we'd be able to play it both ways, but you'll probably find one is easier than the other in the beginning, and you can go with that, especially if you're new to finger picking, because you're going to be spending a lot of focus and concentration in this hand, so you may not want to be, you want to probably in this hand do whatever easier. Or from there, we're going to go to A minor 7th. Now, A minor 7th looks a lot like your C chord did, it just doesn't have this 3rd finger on the C. This gives us an A minor 7th. Some people probably know that A minor. I take away the middle finger, which now lets this open G string ring the 3rd string. That's what makes it A minor 7th, or the 7th part anyway. That's going to look like this. So if I went from my G, my B, or sorry, G/B. I'm going to then, sorry, I'm looking at the camera and getting myself confused. My fingers are going to move back like this. You'll notice if you had used your 2 and 4, that's a fairly easy switch because your second finger just comes back to that E, which is where it was. Here's your C chord, right? Watch that second finger, and then the second finger comes back. And you'll notice your first finger just went away and then basically just goes back. So 2 and 4 has that advantage for sure. 1 and 3, which you may find more comfortable, is more movement happening. Anyway, we put it all together. Or and of course, with those chords, kind of have to get the fingers to stand up nice and tall there in order for those open strings to ring. If you find those open strings are getting muted, you just got to get those fingers standing up a little more tall. And you can kind of notice how I sometimes move my hand. Sometimes I exaggerate it a bit for the video, but you do have to get them to stand up pretty tall to ring. Anyway, that's it, Landslide. A little tiny bit about the capo, but if you liked it, subscribe, like, thumbs up, you know the drill, comment. Name is Teague. Musiclearning.com is my site, and there'll be links in the corners here for the material that goes along with this lesson. And then also Trip Fuse is the name of the channel. And yeah, that's it. This is part of a finger picking pattern, a larger series of lessons on the site. You can get a bunch of them for free. Yeah, so the capo really quick, and then we'll sign off for now. So this is in the key of C. If I were to move my capo and put it on the 1st fret and play the exact same thing but move it up a half step, we could call it C sharp, or it'd be better to call it the key of D flat, but we'll save that for another lesson as to why. But if I move it to the 2nd fret, I now would be in the key of D. And if I move it another step, I'm going to be in the key of E flat, which is the key of the record. So it doesn't matter which key you play it in. Obviously you don't have a capo, just play it in the key of C. For singing, there's a bunch of different options for that, and I've explored a little bit of that through my stories, but I'll explore it further in an upcoming video, because you have a few options for that. But one of the nice things about moving the capo around is you can find a key for yourself to sing in that's easier, not as high or not as low. But we'll save that for another lesson. Okay. Super, thanks so much for watching. As always, name is Teague, Trip Fuse is the channel, musiclearning.com is the site, and like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Thanks for watching.